Hello, we are Group 1, and this is our presentation for Management Information System. The company we have chosen is ASOS, and in this video, we'll be covering ASOS's business model, the strategic value of IT in ASOS, the ER diagram, SQL using the database, and lastly, the suggestion for web interface.
ASOS, originally known as Seen on Screen, was founded in 2000 in London as a small business which copied the trendy styles and designs worn by popular celebrities. Today, it's one of the largest online fashion retail companies in the world, selling over 850 brands such as Topshop and Nike, as well as its own range of clothing and accessories. The company has 168 suppliers, 713 factories, and 4,755 employees worldwide. First, let's take a look at their business model. ASOS's business model is their plan for creating value for consumers and making profit. ASOS's key business activities involve the curation and selling of fashion clothing and other fashion-related goods. The manufacturing of these goods is outsourced to third-party contractors. These products are then delivered to consumers worldwide through their online website. Their key resources are social media, through which they're able to reach their target market. ASOS has four main ways for creating value for its consumers. First is convenience, as consumers can purchase from the site 24/7 throughout the whole year wherever they are. Instead of having to go on multiple different websites for different brands and shops, ASOS brings them all together in one place. Second is branding. ASOS has grown to become a global player in the e-retail fashion market, giving them a strong brand image and reputation amongst consumers. Selling over 800 brands, as well as their own fashion label, really adds value for customers as well. Thirdly, ASOS offer multiple different cost reductions for consumers. For example, free delivery for orders over £30 and free returns. Lastly, ASOS's website offers a personalised experience for its buyers by changing navigation based on past user engagement, helping to improve customer experience. ASOS have two main customer segments, consumers and vendors. Within consumers, ASOS cater to the mass market of young 20-somethings who all have a similar need and love for fashion and following fashion trends. According to YouGov, majority of its customer base is aged between 18 and 34. These audiences are reached and marketed to primarily through social media, particularly Instagram and Twitter. ASOS cater to consumers for both low and high socioeconomic groups, as they offer both high-end designer brands with higher prices, but also cheaper high street brands. ASOS uses two types of distribution channels, the first being producer to retailer to consumer. The clothing and accessories are produced by other brands such as Topshop and Nike, and are then distributed to customers through ASOS as a retailer. The second channel is a direct-to-consumer model, where the producer sells its own products directly to the end consumer. ASOS produces its own products and uses its own platform to sell it.
As ASOS operates solely via e-commerce, information systems are valuable to the company's strategy in order to make data and information more accessible to use. Operating 100% online creates and sustains a competitive advantage for ASOS. However, if they do not use information systems correctly, it will affect their strategy negatively, as they can miss out on potential sales or be left with unsatisfied customers, as well as being unable to compete as strongly with rival companies. Being an e-commerce giant also means that there are many other online rivals to compete with, such as Misguided and Boohoo. Therefore, ASOS must use effective strategies to secure a competitive advantage against rivals. ASOS must have an effective IT strategy within the business model to become successful, and this would only occur if ASOS's business objectives and goals meet their IT functions, which would take place through IT governance. This involves IT services, infrastructure, and the external environment. With that being said, being a solely e-commerce business, it reduces expenses dramatically for ASOS, as there is a low amount of barriers to entry, as there is no need to purchase high-value assets, and therefore reducing ASOS's pricing overall.
An entity relationship diagram illustrates relationships among people, objects, places, concepts, or events within an IT system. All the relationships identified in this diagram are one-to-many because it is the most ideal relationship to have for ASOS. The customer entity stores important data of the customer such as their name, address and phone number. The customer will also be given a unique customer ID which will help ASOS to identify the customer. One customer can create many accounts. When creating an account, the customer is also given a unique account ID. This becomes the primary key of the account entity. One account can have many orders, which will help ASOS in understanding the buying behavior of the customer and aid ASOS in promoting advertisements. The order entity contains data that shows the delivery method, payment method, and the date of order placed. Many orders have one payment. One customer can purchase many products. This stores entities such as product ID, which will facilitate ASOS in locating products. It also consists of quantity, supplier ID, product name, and unit price. One product can have many details. This entity stores attributes such as quantity, tracking number, and customer address. Each supplier is given a unique ID to identify them. It consists of attributes such as the company's name, phone number, and delivery date. One supplier can do many deliveries, and this can be done at one warehouse. The warehouse entity consists of company name, postcode, and phone number.
Here we'll discuss the structured query language. Next, we will look at the structured query language in this database. In a situation in which a customer wants to find the most expensive jeans from a particular brand, the first action will be to click onto Jeans tab, where we'll get a list of results showing all the jeans ASOS offers from all the brands. In this case, the information required is brand, product type, and type of sort. Here, highest to lowest price. All this information provided for each product is collected from a database management system. To create SQL query, first we need to go to Query Design. Next we click Product Table, from which we'll be able to draw information regarding product name, product type, product ID, and unit price. In the criteria box of the product name field, we will put like Topshop, and below that in the All box, like River Island. In the criteria box of the product type field, we put jeans. Finally, for unit price, we change sort box to descending in order to show highest to lowest price. Once the Run button is clicked, we can see the results of our query. So this is the syntax of the query we ran. Select command extracts the specific columns from the database. From command extracts the data from the product table. Where command extracts only the records that fulfill a specified criteria. In this case, gathering records that start with Topshop or River Island and that are only jeans. Lastly, order command sorts the records from unit price in a descending order.
There are multiple ways to improve a website interface. However, one way to improve ASOS is by adding a highest reviewed option in the sort drop-down list to allow individuals to see what previous customers have said about their purchase. This feature will be beneficial for customers because they will use current reviews as a guidance when purchasing, but also create trust and confidence in the product they decide to buy. The business model helps ASOS generate revenue from selling multiple brands as well as their own. The strategic value of IT in ASOS is the core of how ASOS operates through e-commerce and also uses IT to communicate internally, externally, and with consumers. The database, ER diagrams, SQL, and a sustainable web interface are all essential to operate a successful e-commerce.